Hey everyone, so I ended up in the hospital needing to have my gallbladder removed, and I'm still nursing my 2-month-old. So this is how I did that. Hi. So I ended up in the hospital with my gallbladder inflamed, which I know is like a really common problem right after pregnancy. I have a 2-month-old, and I just want to share some of the tips of how I was able to work on maintaining our breastfeeding relationship when I was in the hospital for a couple days. So the first thing is every time I've gone to the emergency room after the baby, I always bring my um, manual breast pump. I think this is a great thing, and this is the gift that I love to give moms at the baby shower is a manual breast pump because most people get the double electric, but for me, I have found the manual, the single manual, excuse me, to be super helpful in a variety of situations. I've ended up in the emergency room a couple times because I did have COVID during my pregnancy, and I still was testing positive when I was in labor. That was super fun. But having the manual breast pump allowed me to easily just grab it and bring it with me to the hospital. I also grabbed a couple storage bags and a couple storage bottles, just threw it in a gallon Ziploc and brought it with me to the hospital. Now, if you have had your gallbladder removed, or if you're in the hospital right now waiting for your removal, I'm so sorry. Or if you're going through that diagnostic testing, it's called a HIDA scan. And the HIDA scan, they give you a radioactive dye that makes it so that you can't nurse your little baby for about 3 days. So you have to pump and dump. So, also, I have learned that you're not supposed to have close contact with your baby for the first 24 hours. So while it was really hard to be in the hospital all this time, I've been here for about 36 hours so far. Um, it's good knowing that I couldn't even hold my baby if I were home. So my husband and my mom are helping take care of them, and I'm super grateful. So what I've been doing is I got a timer app on my phone and I set my timer for 2 hours. Because I've been exclusively nursing, it was hard to come up with a pumping routine, but I thought every 2 hours was a pretty good place to start. So I've been pumping every 2 hours, recording the time, the number of ounces, sharing that with my mom and my husband, who are trying to figure out how many ounces to feed my baby who's been exclusively breastfed all this time, and then just dumping the milk. Now, there is some evidence and some recommendation that you can keep the milk that you are pumping in those first 36 to 48 hours after the HIDA scan, and the radioactivity in the milk will degrade the same way it is degrading in your body. It will degrade out of the milk. Because I'm in the hospital and I don't have access to cold storage for the milk, they will bring me ice and I can keep the bottles in ice. For me, it made more sense to just pump and dump, at least for now. When I get home, I think by the time I get home, it will have been more than 24 hours from my HIDA scan, so I feel like I'll be able to um, more safely, because the bulk of the radioactivity is gone after 24 hours, is what my tech has told me and what I've read online. I'll link a resource in the description that that was shared with me by a good friend that had this information. The bulk of the radiation has degraded now, and it will be safe for the milk to be consumed by my infant after uh, 2 to 3 days. The estimates are different depending on where you look. So I think I'll probably try to be more conservative and wait 3 days until I give my newborn breast milk after my HIDA scan. So the other thing that I did was, as soon as I learned that I could not breastfeed my baby, is I went on my local Facebook page and my local moms group page on Facebook and asked if anybody had breast milk to donate. I know that not everyone's comfortable with this option, but for me, I have donated breast milk to other babies in the past, and I felt pretty comfortable. And since I've already had COVID, and I wasn't concerned about, I had already done the research about COVID, being COVID positive and breast milk transmission, so I felt comfortable with the moms who donated, that their milk would be safe for my baby. I did also order I did also send my husband to Target. I did a little bit of research on my phone, and I was able to see that there was a brand of formula available at the Target that is close to the hospital that is an organic goat's milk formula. And that one seemed like the one that would be the easiest transition for my son if we did end up needing formula. Now, my newborn is our fourth baby, and we have never had to use formula before, and I know that whole idea was just very overwhelming to me. Like, I don't know how to choose for this situation. So I did look at Flave City. He has a review. The only one that he recommends, though, is only sold online. So I had done a little bit of research and determined that based on what I had read, that goat's milk would probably be easier for my child, and because it was available very close to us, and because I'm only going to probably have to buy it once, I just went ahead and went with that one. What he wants you to look out for is palm oil in the formula, and the one that I am using for my son, which will be linked down below, does have palm oil, but it is based on a goat milk formula, and the ingredients are organic. So I just felt like it would be a good choice. He mentions it in his video on Flave City, so you can go ahead and check that out, and that might give you some more information. So these are the things that I'm doing to maintain my breastfeeding relationship with my newborn while I'm in the hospital after a HIDA scan. 1, I brought my manual pump to the hospital. 2, I'm pumping every 2 hours. 3, I'm tracking how much I'm pumping to inform the caregivers about how much milk my son may be wanting. 4, I did purchase a formula that I feel comfortable using. And 5, I am using donor milk from Facebook sites from moms that I know. So I hope that you are going to be able to find this information helpful and comforting while you're in the hospital waiting. And I know that this is just a very common procedure for moms very close to pregnancy. And my nurses have also said that a lot of people that come and have the gallbladder surgery are still nursing their newborns. So I thought this information might be helpful for some of you, and I hope it is. Please let me know about your recovery. Please let me know if you'd like to know more about my recovery. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.